Alright guys, I got to do some transplanting today. What I got going on is I got some Thai hots here and some jalapenos. And I'm going to do some transplanting. If you guys want to watch, that's what I'm going to do with you. So, as you guys know, I'm a fan of red solo cups. I don't suggest ever buying them. If you can get them, you know, if you have a get-together or friends over and you use a bunch of plastic cups because you don't want to do dishes, save the cups, drill a 1/2-inch hole in the bottom, and there you go. You've got a planting pot, and it doesn't really cost you much, and you don't send it off to the garbage. These red solo cups, they only last you about 2 years if you're good with them. I think I've gotten maybe 3 or 4 out of a few of these, but usually about 2 years. They don't last as long as this black high density plastic, but it's something. So what I'm gonna do here is I've written the names of the vegetables I'm gonna plant. Hope you guys are all in the shot. Here on the side of the containers, you see here in this case Thai hots. Over here jalapenos. So you can see I've used painter's tape here. What happens is I use these things so much, pretty soon I run out of places to write the name of the variety and or what's in here, and so then I swipe a little painter's tape out and use that. And another thing that usually happens with me is about 2 or 3 cups in, I get tired of spelling out the name of the plant and I start abbreviating. So that's already been done. You guys missed that. But I'll show you what I'm up to here. Well, I'll pan you over this way. Pan, and crooked shot. I think you're in. So over here I've got some soil I've mixed up, and this is compost out of my garden. If you guys see, it's good stuff. It's alive. There's little critters in here. There's little millipedes and earthworms and stuff in it. And then I will just fill up these cups and plant some seeds, or transplant. So let's do that. Start with the jalapenos. So I'll fill them up and I'll pack them in, not hard, but just gently tap them in there. And then the next step is I'll put them over here, and I like to water from the bottom up whenever possible with seedling starts, and that helps reduce the amount of compaction that takes place in these containers. Now flush with the top is what you want to do. Again, don't smash it down, but just gently pack it down. Doesn't take long to do. Now, I'm not trying to sound like an expert or anything, because I'm not. This is just the way I do it. So if you have a better way to do it, if I'm doing it wrong, feel free to put it in the comments. Let me know what you think, because I think that YouTube was and still is a wonderful format for people to learn and share information, despite the fact that corporations are doing their best to take it over and edit thought 1984 style. So anyways, that's my 2 cents political rant. So here we see, as it's sitting in here, the water's percolating up. Now it's not going to reach the top where the seedling's going to be, so I'm going to add a little water to it. just going to put this hose in here and raise this up. This is the way I do it. It's not the right way, it's not the wrong way, it's just the way I do it. Meanwhile, you see the water rising on these little pots, and it will be wicking up into the closer to the top of the cup. So I'll just go like this until I see it, the top of the soil start to look damp. Now there is some compaction taking place, sometimes a lot of compaction. Let's find a spot for this to fall over. You want to do this slowly so it doesn't, if you fill them up too fast, they'll bob up, they'll cork up, and then they'll flop over on their sides and dump all the dirt out. So be careful of that. Anyway, so I'm almost to the rim of the cups. There we are. That's the rim of the cups. And then I'll stop and I'll let that soak in there. Whoa, some of them are sinking. Okay, you don't want to do that. Then I'll set them out of there for a minute. Get these out. So those are a little overdone. This is ideally what I want to see, is the water just getting to the surface, and then you stop. You can see now those were all packed to the lid or the rim, and they condensed because there was air in there which was lost, and the soil has compacted a little bit. That's why when you do plants in a pot, you have to add things like vermiculite and perlite to it to keep that soil from compacting so quickly. So anyways, this one's about right. I'll set it there and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So let's spin you over here. Oh, you can see that. Here we are. So then I'll take my EDC or some other tool, and I'll use it as a, what I got here? Oh, okay, I'll make sure you put the right pepper in the right cup. I'm going to use the tool, a probe. You can use a popsicle stick, whatever will reach down in there, down in, and tickle out a plant. In this case, they're kind of intertwined, so you can see there's two there. Only want one. And then I will take this soil, I'll just put my finger in there, make a hole, lay my little plant on the side. Like Nick Fedoroff always says, green side up. Okay, so then I'll just push, hold this guy up a little bit. Don't want to bury it, sleeves at all. And you don't really want to touch the roots. You want to avoid touching the roots if you can. And that's too deep. Up, up, up. Alright, here we go. So you want to plant it not too deep. You want to plant it basically the height it was when you moved it. So that's it. There's a jalapeno transplant. So I've got a few of these to do. It's going to get redundant. I'll do another one for you. And I'm going to put this one right back where it came from. We'll tickle one of these out. You can see some shriveling on these leaves here, and they're all kind of deformed. And that is my fault. That is from me trying to push these plants. I used a little seaweed extract, which is a growth hormone, helps push things. And I've been using a little bit of fish fertilizer. This is not something to do. This is wrong. Don't do it. do as I say, not as I do kind of moment. I was trying to see if I could push them a little bit more because I am starting so far behind on my garden this year. And so by doing that, you see these leaves, if I got that, you can see how they curl, and they kind of buckle up, and that's because there's fertilizer in there. So you don't really fertilize seedlings. Otherwise you'll have problems like that. So, but outside a little bit of leaf stress, they look pretty good. So they should pop right up out of that. I'm gonna try to avoid doing that anymore. So again, you put it in there roughly so it's about the same depth it was before, and then take a little dirt in back around it, compost in this case. There we are. So I'll just keep watering it with just water in an effort to get those plants to straighten out a little bit. Okay guys, that's planting peppers today. See you later. Ow. Kidding me, kid. So guys, my buddy Matt texted me this morning, and he's got a bunch of compost that he wants to use to start his garden. I think he has a greenhouse, I'm not sure. But he's concerned with parasites and different critters in that soil he's gotten for his compost. And so he texted me about it, and it's probably something I should mention right now. This soil's alive that I have. This is compost dirt on my garden. It's gonna have critters in it. I know it has critters in it. I can see them crawling in it. Biggest problem you'll run into is gonna be fungus gnats. And the cure I found for the fungus gnats is, when you're setting up your little pots, is to use boiling water. And you can put some boiling water in the soil you're going to use, and that will kill the fungus gnats, their eggs, larvae. It'll kill everything in that soil, including the beneficial things. Your different mycelium, mycorrhizal bacteria, all that good stuff, fungus and bacteria, all your good stuff. But it will kill those gnats, and they can become a real problem if you're taking your soil. If I take this into the house, I'll probably have all kinds of little fungus gnats flying around, and it'll make my wife go crazy. So what you can do, little earthworm trying to escape. Like I said, this stuff's alive. You didn't like getting that wet. What you can do is you can put boiling water into your soil, and then either dry out that soil, or after that soil is cooled, then you can plant your plants. So one pro tip to avoid fungus gnats or any parasites you may be concerned with.